So
recording in progress.
Oh, okay, got that. So yeah, so it's just to talk about the sort of power of YouTube, really, and obviously leveraging it, because a lot of you guys in the sort of coaching world online, you know, you do a lot of Facebook lives, and that's great. But the thing is, it's taking the video content that you're using and it's basically repurposing that across the platforms, but specifically for YouTube. Now, the reason YouTube is so powerful is because it is owned by Google, so it's the second largest search platform, you know, in the world. And the good thing about it, you can optimize it through SEO. So I don't know whether you guys know much about SEO.
Little rundown would be great.
A little bit, yeah. So it's search engine optimization. So Google relies on people searching for whatever they're interested in. It's buyer intent traffic, a lot of it. So a lot of the times people will search to find out something they either want to buy or research about because they're looking to purchase something or for whatever. So it's very, very powerful. It's not like you're just advertising to people that aren't really that interested in what you're doing. Anyone who types in specific keywords related to what you're offering, to have YouTube optimized for that is very, very powerful, because obviously it's owned by Google and it's the same thing basically. So what I'm going to run through is a sort of checklist. If you're interested in having a channel, I can obviously help you set one up, but I'll go through done for you what you can do for yourself as well, you know, moving forward to get a channel set up, and I'll run through that now. So can you guys see my screen?
We can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. So I do apologise with this. Because it was a bit of a sort of short notice thing, I didn't have time to quite make it as clear. So if you wanted a copy of this checklist afterwards, because you can't quite read what I'm going through, but I'll discuss it as I go through it anyway. I'll send you this, and there'll be even more detail on there as well. So there's a few steps to setting up your channel. The first step is to pick your keywords. So for example, for you, Jen, whereabouts is it you're based with your fitness?
In Leeds.
In Leeds. So you want to be setting up a channel based around personal training in Leeds. I would have said that would be, you know, I would say that's the best thing to do. So for example, the niche that you offer, always make sure that the keywords are what your channel name is. So if it's, you know, personal training, if it's mindset, if it's coaching, if it's well, I don't know, anything, holistic therapy, those keywords specifically ideally need to be in your YouTube channel name. That's where you start from. And I would do some research before this, have a look at what other people are ranking for in those keyword terms as well, in your local area, so you can see what they're doing and things like that. Then you create a Gmail account using that name. So you'd say personal trainer Jen Harp, personal trainer Leeds, as your Gmail account. Okay, so that's the second step, is keeping that Gmail account the same name as roughly around the same sort of name with the keywords in as the channel when you start your channel. Now you can create.
Why is that then? I've never heard that before.
Because Gmail, obviously, it's Google Mail. It's all to do with SEO optimization. So the more that you link those keywords with every single post, platform creation, anything you do, if those keywords are matching, that sends signals to Google that you've got relevancy. So the more you do, the more authority you get, and the more that Google recognizes that it's you know, the person Jen Harp, personal trainer in Leeds, is an authority online. It slowly starts. It takes time, but it just builds up. Because if you've got a Gmail account that's completely opposite to the channel title, then that signal's not going to link. So it's all about linking those keywords together, basically. And it's the same. Yeah, it's the same with your website. Obviously, we'll talk about that. But on your website, when you create an introduction video on your channel, you want to embed that on your website, because then that's called a backlink. So that means that your website has got a signal from it with Google, linked with your YouTube channel, linked with your Google My Business, and all these things are then step by step linked together, which means it gives you an omnipresence with Google, basically. So with the Gmail account, you can create 50 channels per Gmail account, so that's quite handy. So you can have all different offsets. You could have Jen Harp muscle toning channel or Jen Harp weight loss channel. You could have separate channels for different niches within that one specific thing, just to give you an idea of that. Now, the fourth step is to have your profile picture obviously on your Google account, because it means then when people see and they want to do a bit of research, they can see it's you, rather than just your logo. Maybe have your face and your logo beneath it as your actual picture on the Google account. So again, as I talked about before, inside the Google account, your first and last name ideally want to be in there as well. The channel description, that wants to be keyword rich. So if you say, for example, I'm just going to use you, Jen, as an example. So if you put in there, Jen Hart Personal Training, specializing in weight loss, muscle tone, dietary requirements, and then you write a list of keywords out that you believe that you're a specialist in, and then you can vary those keywords. So you can say weight loss expert in keto or something like that. So you add in things like keto, add in things like calorie deficit, all those sorts of terms that people are searching for, include those in your channel description. So there'll be an option, and I'll go through it in a minute as well, on how to set a channel up. I'll actually show you my channel of what I've done. So with, let's just see what we've got here. So number 7 is the channel description. 8 is verify your phone. So with Google and with Facebook, with YouTube, they like you to be, with the identification stuff, making sure that you registered the phone number when you put a custom thumbnail in, because the thumbnails are extremely important on your video. So when anyone's scrolling, if they just see a preview of your video and it's not got a specific thumbnail, most people will just scroll through it. But however, if it's a thumbnail, which I would recommend being 2 to 3, maybe 4 colors, branded colors, but bright, so it stands out. So the way I look at it is like a thumbnail that pops out of the screen, so it can be like with my purple, and I'll show you the kind of thumbnails I've created. You can have you on there. We can use Canva for it, so it's not difficult to design, with a glow around it, perhaps like Jen Hart Personal Trainer, just with a grayish background perhaps, and then the yellow of your branding with you in there as well. So it just needs to be a thumbnail that's got a specific message in the thumbnail that stands out straight away. So for example, with Chanel, it would be, earn 5K from anywhere, with a picture of maybe like a beach in the background and then her, but just simple, but with the wording standing out. It's bright, so people will stop scrolling. Then the banner image as well, set the vibe for when people visit your channel. So your channel banner needs to be the same branding as a thumbnail, similar, with your logo in, with your message in there as well. And also I would always put in contact details in your banner, so that when anyone visits your page, without them searching, they've got your contact details, whether it be your Facebook profile address or whether it be your number, however you want to do it. If you want to be a bit private, then just maybe put a website on there or something like that. Now further down as well is creating a watermark, which is basically your logo. So every time a video is uploaded, your watermark will be on the bottom right or bottom left, whichever you choose. So it just means people can't steal your content very easily, because it's got your watermark on each video. As time goes on and you've built up a slight following, you can then create a URL that's custom. So when you share your YouTube link, it will be, for example, instead of having YouTube with all a load of letters and numbers, which is automatically what they give you on a link that you can share, you can have youtube.com Jen Hart Fitness Instructor, and it will be an actual custom URL. So that's quite easy to do as well, and I can show you guys how to do that. Also on YouTube, which is quite good, you can have your links to your other platforms. So in your banner, you can have Facebook, you can have your website link, and your Instagram and LinkedIn and things like that as well. Okay. Contact email, obviously you want that in every single video you upload. Always have your contact details within the description. And that's called a citation, which is very important. So you want a citation of if you've got a Google My Business, and I'll go through this again in a demonstration of putting in your address of your business that's linked with your Google My Business in your description, if that makes sense. So at the bottom of a description, you've got your address, really. It's like your digital address. So it will have all of your Facebook, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. And that's pretty much it for setting up the channel. Okay, so what I will do before I go on anymore, I'll show you my channel just as to give you an example of how I've set mine up. Let me just get this out of the way a minute so I can see what I'm doing. So there you go. So there's my channel. So obviously I've got my banner at the top there with a description of my business. I've got my Facebook link in the title as well, in the banner, and I've got a LinkedIn, which is primarily what I use for business, is Facebook and LinkedIn. If somebody goes to my About section, it's got a description of me in there. I can improve on this. I can add more in. I do have a few YouTube channels that I run. This isn't primarily one that I get business from. This is more just a brand awareness channel. So you can add more into this, but I've got a brief description as well, which has got some keywords in there: lead generation, organic, online, and all that sort of stuff. And I will show you the kind of videos. Now, again, I'm not at the moment, I'm not trying to build a big following with what I do. It's just creating content so I can share it on different platforms. But for example, this one got 1,100 views. I haven't promoted it really. It's just because of how I've keyworded it. But as you can see by my thumbnails, I've got this common theme of the brand colors. And then I've got a picture of me, which I probably need to change because I've just got either left or right with my finger. So I need to update that and have some more in there. But when I first started, it was just a picture of me by the computer, but I thought I need to have them a bit more popping out. And you can see the kind of colors I'm using, how to create animated videos, and that, again, when someone's scrolling that's typed that in, because a lot of people do search for stuff like that because they don't know how to do it, that's when, my video will pop up, depending on how I've keyworded the title and the description. So for example, if we go to this one like here, this one's done well because it's 2022. That's becoming a popular term to put into your description. So for example, for Jen, you could say the ultimate guide to losing weight for 2022. That will be your title. And then anyone typing in losing weight 2022, your video will start ranking if you do other things I put in there as well. So I'll just show you this video here and I'll go through how it works when you put in all of your you SEO it correctly. It's just bear with me because it might be a bit slow because I'm on a live. I'll just pause it a minute so you can see. So for example, if you see,
I'm so excited for you to do my YouTube in January.
yeah, no, it'd be good. I think the stream has gone really funny because I'm trying to load a video at the same time as on a Zoom. It's really bad signal, but
Yeah, it does tend to slow everything down, Zoom.
yeah, I'll just I won't play the video. I'll just rewind it. So this video here, and you can actually, again, all this stuff I'm talking about is on these videos. So you can go to my channel and you can have a look because this is exactly how you rank on, for YouTube. So with this, for example, if you go to show more, this is an affiliate program I've got with a friend of mine in the US who's actually teaching this stuff step by step through a 7-day training. It's very, very good. And he's a good friend of mine and I'm trying to do a bit of affiliate for him. So I've got my own affiliate link in there. Obviously, I've got quite a long description because, again, there's a lot of keywords in this description. So Google search, you've got YouTube again mentioned a few times, SEO. So anyone searching for ranking YouTube, all these sort of keywords will be related to that. So again, for what Chanel's doing with coaching, and mindset, or hundreds of different variations we can think of to include in the description. And as you scroll down on the right hand side here, which I'll go through in a minute, this is where you put in your tags. So this is like the back end of YouTube, where if people are searching on YouTube for specific things, there is, for example, here, search engine optimization, technical SEO, web development. Now this actual video has got nothing to do with web development, but including it in your video tags just means then if someone is searching for that, then they may come across from a suggested recommendation your video might play next. That's why video tags are quite powerful, because when you're on a YouTube video, sometimes it will, at the end, it will pop up the next one, a random video of some kind. But this is like a bit of a hack so that your video is the next one that's recommended, because a lot of times people will leave YouTube playing, so it just plays videos over and over again. They have it on the telly in the background, whatever. So that's quite a handy little hack to be able to utilize that. So you can see here on my video tags, I've got all these different digital marketing 2022, digital marketing agency, and all this sort of stuff. Now there is softwares you can buy to give your YouTube channel an SEO score. So this one is called vidIQ, and it gives you an idea of how this video is performing and how well you've optimized it. Now it is very, very difficult to get all these green ticks in because, for example, this is saying that my title's too long, but I don't think it is. I mean, it's got everything. I need to have those things in there. I could potentially remove that and just have that, but it doesn't really matter. They are very, very fussy, but it's quite good to be able to see where you're scoring, because it's quite shocking when you go on to some, I'm not going to mention names, but some gurus that are video experts online. You know, I think Chanel knows what I'm on about. And I have a look at specific videos that, you know, certain people have done, and they've got like 16 out of 100 on their SEO score, and that's like really bad. So it's quite interesting when you have a look. Say if you want to look at other fitness people's channels, you can see how well they're performing. And with this bit of software, it gives you can copy and paste their own channel tags as well, which is quite good. So if they are doing well and you think, well, you know, I want to take all of these, you just click on this clipboard and you can copy it into your own videos and stuff like that. But that's for another video, that one. But there's lots
How much is the software?
it works out, it's about £15 a month, something like that. So it's not too bad. And
Yeah, it's quite.
it's got loads of different stuff you can do. But these are my automatic channel tags
Get
as
it for a
well.
couple of months. Get it for a month. Go over everyone's things and then steal everyone's tags and then get rid of it.
Yeah, well,
Probably
yeah,
got a
you could,
14-day free trial anyway, hasn't it?
probably, yeah. Yeah, so with the channel tags as well, it's a similar sort of thing. So for example, with Jen, it would be, you know, personal training, weight loss, muscle building, and etc., etc. Anything like that. That's what you'd want. Probably around 10 or 15, maybe 20 channel tags. So yeah, and obviously as well, you can put up to 3 hashtags at the end of your description. I don't know why it's only 3, but that's pretty much all you can use on YouTube. So that gives you a basic run through of that one. Okay, and I'll just go back to. Is there any questions from anybody? No. Okay. So I'll go
You
back.
know, with a lot of people, you go into their like blurb thing underneath the description, and it's got like loads of call to actions, like this course here, this course here, this course. Like,
Yeah.
is that good, or is it better to have like just one?
I would, well, that's one thing I'll show you actually. I would only have maybe 4 or 5 maximum, because otherwise it's just, you know, people won't bother clicking on it. It's a bit spammy.
Yeah.
But I'll show you another thing that's very important as well. So I'll just go back to my channel. So what I've also learned, which is interesting, is when you put in your title, you need to have, so I'll show you to give you a better example. Hang on a second. Let me show you this one. So you see when my video is clicked on, automatically my website is there on the left hand side, because what I've done is I've taken the title of the video, I've had it as the first line of the description, which is extremely important, and then straight after that you enter in the URL of your website. And if you do this, it will always have your URL of your website on any of your videos right at the top without anybody even clicking. So nobody needs to click on show more. It will automatically be there, which is very handy because it means, oh, I like the look of this video. I'll have a look at their website or their landing page. So that's one little trick that's important. And YouTube as well, like I said, likes to have the title of the video to be copy and pasted at the top of the description. For some strange reason, it needs to be the same. And then again, you just put your URL in there, and that's it. So for example, with this one, I've put in 2 other links, which, you know, I've not got the affiliates for them. It's just something I'm showing off to people to how to do these things for free. And yeah, so that's one thing. I will go back to the checklist and go through the other stuff as well. So that's basically channel setup, and we've already touched upon a little bit on the how to upload a video when it comes to creating the thumbnail, which I can show you that on Canva as well. Very, very easy to create a good standout thumbnail. So with the videos, so number 1, the title, again, we've been through that one. So the keywords, location and date, and use authority keywords. An authority keyword is like fitness or weight loss, you know, something that a lot of people are searching for. That's classed as an authority keyword. And that's the trick there. So copy and paste the title and paste it at the beginning of the description. And then the links, we've already talked about that. Timestamps are good. So if you've got a long video, the way of doing timestamps is, I'll show you my channel. I haven't done them on a lot of my videos because they do take time, funnily enough. So if you've got like an hour-long video, if you put in timestamps, so you know, if you noticed on some videos, you can sort of click to skip to different parts on the timeline on people's videos, and what you do is you just put in there, for example, if I want to go to minute 4, I just type in the description 4.00 is decimals, and then I'll put in whatever it is I'm talking about, and then that automatically creates a timestamp, and it gives you like a little bar there. So it means people could just skip. So if Jen was doing a video about I don't know, an overall fitness plan, and then you wanted to talk about diet, and then you did a timestamp, the next timestamp was about exercises, the next timestamp was about stretching or something like that, then you can just click to go to straight to that bit. That's how you create timestamps. It's quite important on long videos that are complicated and you've got a lot of content in them. So let's go back to this one as well. So then NAP, so that's name, address. So that's what I was talking about, the citation, which is if you've got a Google My Business. I know a lot of online coaches probably wouldn't bother with this, but if you're dealing with a client, or if you're doing something for somebody and they've got an actual shop or physical present building, then you can put in the Google My Business address in YouTube, and it just creates that signal, and that helps a lot as well. So we've been through that one as well. So that's, again, the keyword rich description. That's very important. Hashtags 2 or 3. Playlists. So if you are creating a lot of videos and you create a playlist, then every single new video that's related to that playlist, make sure that you include that in there. And again, I'll quickly show you a setup of how to upload a video. So you can go through that one. And this is all basically, we'll go through that now, because all this stuff from sort of question the 6 down to 20 is actually doing it. So let's go into the channel and I will show you how it works. So I want to upload a new video. So I click on create, upload video. And this is just a basic rundown. Again, it might be a little bit slow because I'm on the Zoom. I don't know how well it's going to perform. But also as well, any of you guys, I mean, you probably know, Jen's obviously know, I help people create YouTube videos, so I can take some content that you've done and I can edit them and actually do this for you and create the thumbnail for you and all that sort of stuff. And because it is it can take a lot of time to get all this stuff right. So you select the file of the video you want to upload. So you'll have it somewhere, wherever. So say I'm just going to pick any video. So if I just go for like this one I downloaded off YouTube, History of Coffee, I'll just use
It's me.
Yeah, it's just funny word. History of Coffee. So you click open, and what will happen is it will start to upload to the platform, and that's where you get given your options then to do what you need to do. So you'll get this window. So then your title. So for example, the History of Coffee, you could put in History of Coffee for 2022. That would be a keyword that's trending because people are starting to search for that stuff. And then you can put in a space, and you can put in there, I don't know, you can put in anything in there, espresso or latte or whatever. And it's just creating those keywords that people are going to be searching for. Okay, but I'll just leave it at that for now. So you've done your title, and then you go to your description. So you'd copy the title as the first line of the description, and then you automatically just press spacebar, and then you put in your URL of your website. And then the next lot down is obviously where you put in your keyword rich descriptions. Okay, so I'll open up another window actually and show you what I did for this one, just so I'll do it in the same time. So this is just giving you an example of the coffee company. So that video I uploaded earlier, there's the thumbnail for it. So it's all about the history of coffee. It's only a shortened down video. But what I did is, when you actually click on the video, you'll see. So it's got the history of coffee, then it's got Billy's Coffee Story, because that's obviously the name of the business. And then the Legend of Kaldi, which is the story about the origins of coffee. And then as I go down, you've got the website, link in with the description. And then there's quite a rich text with the citation of the address of the coffee business itself, with the hashtags. And then obviously on the right hand side, as I say, I've got the relevant video tags in there, and also all of the other channel tags included as well. Okay, so that's what you do. So description in there, and then as you scroll down, there's a lot more options. So you've got a thumbnail option. So obviously you want to have your thumbnail ready and created. So I'll go through how that works. But if you just left it as it was, it would just create like a preview of the video. So it would just come in at any point. It could just be a random image that no one really knows what it is. So obviously with the thumbnail that I've created, if anyone's scrolling, they can see, you know, who is Billy, why the goat, and it's got the coffee on there. So it's relevant to what the video is about. Okay, so let's just go back to that.
Going back to the description, say if like your address changed or like you wanted to change like, I don't know, your ICO or whatever, would you have to go back through all your descriptions and change them?
If you sorry, you broke up. If you wanted to change which bit?
So if you wanted to change like, I don't know, your ideal client or your address changed or something changed in your business and you wanted them to search something else, would you have to go back through your descriptions and the tags and everything and change all that on every video?
You don't have to do it on every video. You could just do it on some, but it's very quick. You know, once you've uploaded the video, you can just go in and edit. You can edit it anytime. And that also helps to rank older videos as well. So you can optimize, because that's what I do for my clients. I look at their older videos and I optimize their older content. And I just change the title. I can include a new thumbnail. It's quite quick. Yeah, it doesn't take long. So, so as you go down, obviously the playlists are here. So if you've created one, then you can just include a new one if you haven't. And then obviously, again, on the checklist, it gives you what you should put in here. Is the video made for kids? You know, 9 times out of 10, it's not. So you just put in no. Ignore the age restriction stuff. You don't really need to worry about that. Paid promotions, that's only really if you're doing affiliate. So if you're trying to sell somebody else's product, or you've got, like, say for example, Jen, if you were to do a review of a supplement and you had the affiliate link in there, then you should just click that, because otherwise if YouTube pick it up, it can go against their terms and conditions and you can get, you know, not in trouble, but the video won't be pumped out as much. So they like you to be honest about that. And then scroll down. Chapters, again, that's only really if you've got longer videos, that's relevant, but I would just leave it on automatic. And this is where you include your tags. So each one of your tags. So this software gives you some suggested ones. And you can just refresh and it gives you some ideas on what you should have based on the title of the video. So it's just got coffee there. And then if you click on it as well, it gives you all these different types you can use. So there's loads. So you've got, like, you know, coffee bean, and with this is pretty good because you can see the competition level of the keywords as well. So you can actually filter it. So you can click on competition. Obviously that they're really high. It gives you a score for the keyword, and it also gives you a search volume. So for example, if I was to do a video for a client and I wanted to find out how many people are searching for a specific keyword, for coffee for example, the search volume is massive for Brightside. I don't know why, maybe that's some sort of brand or something like that, but the competition seems very low. So that would be quite a powerful tag to put into the thing, because obviously it's being searched a lot and the competition is low on that one. I don't know why jazz music's in there. I don't know what that's got to do with coffee, but you know, there is some strange ones, but you can just filter through and find out what's what. Okay. Is anyone confused or anyone got any questions with this? No.
That's great, isn't it? Having that built in. You really have to do your own keyword research. You can just use that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I always like to do keyword, some sort of find out what the high trending keywords are, but that is good because it gives you a lot more you can add on to it as well. So video language.
What platform do you use for keyword research?
Google Trends. You just type in trends on Google and you can go into there, and then you can find out what's trending and stuff like that. There's a couple of there's one called Href, and there's got SEMrush as well, but that's all for SEO. So because I do SEO with my business, so I optimize websites and stuff like that. So I have to do a lot of keyword research and it's very similar. So doing keyword research for a website for SEO for back end is virtually the same as doing keyword research for YouTube, basically. Look at this as like a mini website, really. So it's like your blog. You know, you create your blog with specific keywords in for relevant search terms. and it's the same for this. So as you go down on here, you've got video language. Again, if it's English, a lot of people, even some of these experts, they don't even fill this stuff in, and it's really important because it's there for a reason. You know, you've just got to click it. It's so easy. Just put in English, and it's got all the different languages and stuff like that. And then you obviously put in caption. I always say no, it hasn't been aired on the television in the US, because that's only really if you're running a video that's got an ad in it. Recording date, just obviously you put today's date or whenever you want in the past, but I just do the same day. Recording location, that's important, because if you've got a business that's local, say Leeds, like with Jen, so you put in their Leeds, and it gives you a lot of, you know, different variations of Leeds, so you've got in all the, you know, specific. So again, because it's all linked with Google Maps, you see, and that's important, because if you go to back again to one of my videos, or to one of my, they are Stratford upon Avon, because I put that in there. So anyone searching for any video in Stratford upon Avon, which is, you know, quite a big search term on YouTube because of Shakespeare and all that sort of stuff, then the history of coffee could very likely be in that search when someone clicks on it somewhere down the line, because, you know, I've put that in there.
Well, what if for location you don't actually want it to be a specific location? Like you want it to be broader. Like I don't necessarily want it to be linked to Mexico. I live in Canada, and I would prefer the U.S.
Just put that then. Yeah, you don't have to put the address of where the video is being uploaded from. It's just where you want the address to be found, where you want the video to be found primarily. So
you can put it wherever you want ideal clients to be mostly from.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I would do for that one. So again, I would this stuff just leave it as it is, standard YouTube license, and then as you scroll down, the category. Now it all depends on what you're doing, you know. So obviously, if it's for animals, if it's for gaming, if it's for people and blogs, just pick whichever. Education, if you're teaching, and stuff like that. And again, that just links with anyone searching for those categories on YouTube. Okay, so then the other next one is video elements. Now that one as well, there you can add subtitles in. Unfortunately, YouTube won't automatically pick up what you're saying and turn it into subtitles. And if it does it doesn't do it very well, unfortunately. So you're always best to use a separate software to include your subtitles in your videos. Premiere Pro does it automatically. So if you put a video in there, there's an option where you can actually put a transcript of your video, so it will pick up what you say. Sometimes you have to edit the words because it doesn't always do it perfectly, but if you speak relatively, you know, it's a clear sound, then it will pick up most of what you say. And then you can save that as what they call a CSV file, which means then when you click on add, there's an option to just upload that file and it will automatically put it in the video for you. So that's quite handy. Put an ad screen on there. So what you do with that is you just click potentially import from video, and it's just an end screen. It means that when the video starts to finish, it pops up with the next one. So if you've got like a series of different videos, you know, like if it's week 1 for something else, then the next one might be week 2, and it will come up with a little box, and you can just drag the timeline of when you want that to start, and it will put in there a little subscribe now button or a little click channel button. But you've got to look at this as well, because the video will sometimes put is the best for the viewer, and that's not always great, because if you're like a coach or a consultant and you're teaching something, you don't want your competitor's video popping up next. So what you do is you click on it, and then you think, well, no, I'm not doing it for the viewer, I'll do a specific video, and then you just choose one of your other videos that it will send them straight to. Okay. So that's that, and then you click save, and then it will go on to the next bit, which is add cards, which is basically the little thing at the top, which just gives you like I'll show you it if I can get it up. So if I was to pick another video here, it could, like that, you know, when it comes up at the top right, and it's just like a little tab that it means that people can click on it and go to the next one. and stuff like that. You can also have your website in there as well, which is quite handy. So there's a lot of little hacks you can do with this, and you can actually click on it and it comes down with a drop down menu and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of those features are only if you've got 1,000 more subscribers. YouTube sort of opens up and gives you more features when you get 1,000 plus subscribers. So and that's pretty much it. Then obviously you get to your visibility section, so you can save it as a private. So sometimes if you wanted to just use YouTube as a place where you can post videos to share with your clients and not do it publicly, then you can just make them private, and then you can just share the link with clients. So you can create a course on here and then just have all the videos as private videos that no one sees or unlisted. But you've still got those links, and you can still just share all the information on there. So that's quite good. And that's it. Or you can schedule it as well to start at a specific date or time if you've got some sort of offer on or something like that, and you want it to start in a week or a few days. But I always generally just do public. Instant premiere is good if you've got an audience. So if you've got a relatively big audience, then that means when you click on that, they'll be alerted that there's a video coming. They'll get an automatic alert, which means that you'll get more views and more people will see your stuff. But when you're just starting out and you haven't got much of a channel, I wouldn't worry about that too much. That's only really when you start building an audience. And that's pretty much it. In that window there, you'll see the preview of the video. You can have a look through it, and then you can obviously see the thumbnail when it's popped up in there as well. And just make sure that you double check all of these things before you upload the video. So you just check your description, your thumbnail, if it's in a playlist, and all the rest of the options. And then obviously your channel tags, your video tags, and all the other options that I've been through. And it's all in the checklists anyway, so I can give you a copy of that and you can just go through it. But if you do want this stuff done for you, because as I say, I make it look as though it's fairly simple, but there's a lot to remember, and it does take a long time. And even just creating the thumbnail. So I'll go through quickly, if we've got time, the thumbnail creation process. I always just use Canva for this. I find it very easy to use for just creating thumbnails. So I'd imagine most of you guys have got a Canva account. Is that what you generally use? Yeah. So obviously on here, if you go to create design, it will give you the automatic dimensions for a YouTube thumbnail. So if you scroll down on the right hand side, there's a YouTube thumbnail there, and that will give you the blank canvas for it. Just bear with me, it's a bit slow loading up. And obviously there is a few templates depending on whether I've got pro version of Canva, so there will, if you pay the £10 a month, you get all these extra templates and stuff. But I think even with the free version, you do get quite a few good ones. But there's some good, got neutral colors and stuff like that, and you can just then change around the background images, and you can put your own image in. So say for example, if I wanted to create one for my business, I could just type in like digital marketing, and it will come up with loads of different templates for that. Let's just go for some ones instead. Or let's just say YouTube actually. I was doing this earlier, so this will give you some backdrops and the logo as well of whatever you're doing. So fitness, it will be the same sort of stuff. But the good thing about the pro version is you get a lot of these stock photos that you can just use them. There's no, you've got the license for it. So say like that one, for example. So you could just stretch it out, make sure it fits the screen of your background. And then what I like to do is I like to put a filter over a lot of my backgrounds. So I will sort of go to elements, and it will give you like these square different shapes you can use if it loads up. So like that. And then what I do is I make that maybe dark, like a black or something. Drag that right over the whole thing. And then you can just go to this top right, which is the transparency. and then you can just lower down. So you can just make it a little bit faded, like that sort of thing, or you can put your own color in, your own brand colors, like mine's purple, for example, you know, so I can just then make it a little bit darker like that. And then obviously you can just change the wording, and again I would just have very basic big bold letters, you know, like YouTube, checklist, and then you can just get rid of the other bits that are on there. And the sort of fonts I like to use is generally, there's a few that I've got saved, like this League Spartan one's pretty good. It's just a basic one, stretch it out. You can shrink it down a little bit. I'll probably have it the sort of, because you've got to remember people are looking at this stuff on their phones, so that you need to make sure the lettering is big enough so that they can see it on a normal size smartphone screen. So I would probably have it that sort of size. So something like that. I'm only giving you a basic example, you know. And then you could have maybe, say if that was what you were offering, and then you'd want like free, so you'd write in there in a different style of lettering, or perhaps a different color, so that it stands out, so the word free would stand out. So if it's a free weight loss guide or something like that, you know, you could just type in there free, and then have it perhaps, I quite like bright green against purple. I think it stands out quite well. So like the neon sort of green, just think it stands out, you know. I don't quite like that style of text. I would probably again just change that to something a bit more simple. Maybe Lato bold or something, and then just make it bigger. And you can do quite a bit with this. If you guys aren't really familiar with the sort of styles or things you can do, you've got an effects tab, and you can, you know, make all sorts of different effects, like the shadow and stuff. I tend to quite like using the lift one because it looks like it's coming out of the screen slightly. So it's like a lift, and you can actually increase the intensity of that. And say, for example, with that one, I could make that red because it's YouTube, or just have the YouTube as red and have the checklist is green, so it matches, kind of thing. And then have the YouTube on its own and create an effect with that, where you've got like maybe a neon. Get rid of the checklist, free, and you can just do Control C. Oh, for God's sake, hang on. Bear with me. Free. Let's just copy. So you get the drift, you know. So you can just make the lettering as big as you can, and then have an image of yourself. I would always do on there as well. So I've got, I think in my uploads, I've got some, because I use this all the time, so I should have some images of myself in there that I can just drag in. Because once you've done it once, with the good thing with Canva is it will just save it into your uploads, so you don't need to worry too much. Let me just see if I can find it a minute. There's one, but there's one of me pointing, I think, somewhere down here. What I probably will do as well is I will do an actual video on my YouTube channel, so all you guys can watch all of my stuff. I'll send you the link, and then I'll do a Canva, a full tutorial on how to create these sorts of things on Canva. So there you go. So there's a picture of me, and then I can just drag that into the corner. So then you put a picture of yourself in the corner, and you can make it fairly big. And then what a lot of people do, which I find works quite well, is you put a glow around it, and that's quite easy to do. You just go to edit image, and then you just go to these effects here. A shadows is where you can get it from, and then click glow. and it will automatically put a dark glow around your image. So you can change that by just going to those little hamburger menu there, and you can just change the color of it. So you can make it any color you want, but obviously a white glow is what stands out a bit more. So you see what I mean? It gives you a bit of a glow, and then you can just make it bigger slightly as well, so it comes out a little bit more. You can affect the transparency, and then you just put your wording where you need it to be. Free YouTube checklist, and that's that. You know, obviously that's a very basic example. I would improve on that if I was to spend a bit more time on it. But that's your thumbnail, you know, and then obviously that thumbnail will then lead on to my video. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't know whether there's much else I can cover for now. What do you think? Any questions?
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
That's all right. No worries. Well, like I say, with this, I'll create a slightly. I'll try and edit it so it's a bit sharper for you, and I can send you guys this checklist, and then also I will give you the link to my YouTube channel, and you can watch some of my videos on there, because I've got some tips and tricks and different things for YouTube anyway, and also obviously I've got some content creation tips on there as well, so that if it helps anybody.
That'd be brilliant.
Awesome, thank you.
That's
Does anyone
all right.
have any questions for Joe before he goes?
I just wanted to ask, what was the name of the transcription tool you were speaking about?
That was Premiere Pro. So that's just one. There's loads of different ones that are cheap, because Premiere Pro is part of Adobe Suite.
Right,
so it's
okay.
Adobe. Yeah, Premiere Pro is like the movie editor that Adobe have. So there is other transcript softwares that you can use as well. If you type in free transcribe in video in Google, it will come up with loads of different ones you can use. So
Brilliant, thank you.
that's all right. I mean, just before I go as well, if anybody wants to know how to create free animated videos, the last video I uploaded a few days ago, I go through an entire tutorial on that. So you can get any different video you want for your business. And they're only little short, funny little videos, but you can actually put them together on Canva and actually create your own animated video for social media, for posting or for ads. And they're pretty good. They're a lot better than people might realize, but it's a little hack that I've learned how to do. It's called using Lottie files, and you convert them into a different file format, and then you can use Canva to put text in there, and you can do all sorts of stuff. So that's that video there, free unlimited animated videos. So watch that one.
Awesome, sounds great. Thank you so much, Joe.
That's all right, no worries.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.